Do you struggle with making the most of your money and feel like you're not achieving your financial goals? We all want to be in control of our finances, but it can be hard to know where to start or how to get ahead. Unlocking your financial well-being by operating from inside your money power will help you take control of your finances and maximize your money power. Today, I'm going to share 3 ways you can begin to operate from inside your money power. Hi, I'm Pamela Plick, and I help purpose-driven women to overcome feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or stuck related to their personal relationship with money so that they can become confident, achieve peace of mind, financial freedom, and impact without fear. I do this through my signature programs and services, retreats, and community. The first step to operating from inside your money power is to understand the meaning of money power. Money power means you are in that sweet spot. You're focused on mastering your money DNA. You've eliminated limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging related to your work, money, and purpose. And you are confidently and boldly showing up and moving forward on your journey towards financial, professional, as well as personal success. And you're moving towards greater fulfillment and overall success. So what is our money DNA? Money DNA is how we are hardwired around our beliefs about money and why we make the money decisions we do. And what's interesting is our money beliefs are actually imprinted upon us as children. If you think about what was talked about, if money was actually talked about in your family, how money was handled, if there was a feeling of lack or a feeling of prosperity, that all goes into your money DNA. And understanding our money DNA is one of the most powerful and effective tools we have to define why we make the money decisions we make. We gain a rapid and deeper understanding around how we are hardwired in our choices around money, which can lead us to unconscious choices, from unconscious choices to empowered decisions, from undervaluing our work to higher success, from confusion to confidence in managing our finances. Understanding your money power DNA is key to success. Money power DNA is actually an acronym, and by tapping into our money power DNA, we gain direct access to greater control and confidence in our relationship with money. We naturally will increase the dynamic connection between our self-worth and our ability to succeed and prosper. We will activate a stream of inner growth and inspired action. And through unlocking your money power DNA, you can begin the process of operating from inside your money power. The first way to begin operating from inside your money power is to understand why you make the decisions, the money decisions that you do. Exploring how those patterns, whether conscious or unconscious, are showing up in your life now and how they can impact you personally and professionally. And what's interesting is 95% of our thoughts are unconscious. So if you think about it, only 5% of our thoughts, do we actually consciously make an effort to pursue. So, that's really interesting. So thinking about, understanding why you make the decisions you do, making sure that you are conscious about those decisions and why you're making them. Exploring the patterns of your money decisions can have a major impact on your life, both personally and professionally. Unconscious patterns have the potential to lead to poor financial decisions, such as overspending or not setting aside enough for retirement. On the other hand, conscious decisions can be used to create wealth and generate long-term financial security. So it's really important. This is like the most important step, is really understanding where you are in your relationship with money and why you make the decisions that you do. And you want to stay on, because at the end of my talk here, I'm going to give you an easy way to identify your current relationship with money. So now the second way to begin to operate from inside your money power is to build financial confidence through knowledge and support. And it's interesting that, as women, we have a tendency, we historically are the caregivers. We take care of everyone before we take care of ourselves, as a rule. And, we don't really like to ask for support. And it's so important that we shift that mindset. Through building financial confidence requires knowledge and support. In order to make sound financial decisions, as well as informed decisions, it's important to gain the knowledge that can be used to create an action plan. And there's a couple of ways that you can do that. First of all, you want to make sure that you read financial information. And a good rule of thumb is to read at least one piece of financial information every day. And that's not a lot. So, to kind of keep yourself informed, also to educate yourself. And it really is, though, important to make sure that you're getting that financial information that is unbiased, and it's not, information from an area that or location that is trying to sell you something, because you really just want that financial education. Now, the second way is to review. And review meaning, making sure that, first of all, that you are looking at your checking account, the balance is in your account. Hopefully, you have a positive, your cash flow, making sure that you have a positive cash flow, reviewing that, as well as any statements that you might have, investment statements, retirement statements. So you want to make sure that you are reviewing that information. And if you don't have, for example, let's say you do have investments, you have an advisor that you're working with, but you're not quite understanding what's on your statement or why you're in the investments that you're in, then it's important to make sure that you are reaching out and you are periodically having a meeting with that advisor, so that you can make informed decisions. The last thing is to get support. Again, we have a tendency to not want to ask for support, but it's so empowering to ask for the support that you need. And most, if you're getting that support from, a reputable source, they're happy to help. So a couple of ways to get that support: through communities. A community, there's lots of communities, social media communities as well, that specialize in helping you, through helping you to get the information that you need and having that support when you need it. Okay, or the ability even to ask questions. So community is one way. Another way is through mentoring. So, if you're working with a professional, maybe that's mentoring you to help you improve your financial knowledge, so that you can move forward and achieve the life that you deserve, that's also a great way. Education, which I talked about before, looking at listening, or either listening or reading, uh, from a website, a reputable financial website, getting that information that you need to improve your financial literacy as well as your financial success. And strategies, getting strategies and the tools that you need, because there's a saying that it's not about what you learn, it's about what you actually implement. So it's important when you get those tools to actually put the tools in action. And I want to share a story. And this is a story about Susan and her money story. Susan had always been afraid of money. Growing up, she felt that money was something mysterious and out of her control. Now, the reason that she felt that way, in her family, money was never talked about. Now, from her perspective as a child growing up, she could see, or she thought, that her father was the one that managed all the finances, the family finances. So, however, it was never talked about. She had no idea how to manage money. And when it came to making financial decisions that would affect her financial future, the fear just seemed to overwhelm her. And what's interesting, one of the biggest mistakes that I do see women make is to procrastinate. Sometimes we don't want to deal with things and we procrastinate, and that procrastination actually comes from fear, the fear of making a mistake because we don't know what to do. Now, Susan, as a successful professional, she realized that if she wanted to create the financial future and the life that she desired, she needed to change her beliefs that no longer served her and face her fear head on. She began researching money topics and understanding how they worked. In addition, by getting professional support, because at that point she learned the basics, but she felt she really wanted some additional support to guide her through the transformation. And so she got professional support and mentorship to transform her limiting beliefs so that no longer served her. And through that, Sue was able to set goals and create a plan of action. She took small but significant steps, which led to confidently making the financial decisions that moved her from money fear to money power. The third way to begin operating from inside your money power is to put your money power into action. The first thing is to identify action steps to move you forward on your financial, professional, and personal journey towards greater fulfillment and success. Now, the action steps can be small but significant steps. And again, what has a tendency to cause overwhelm, when we think the task is so daunting because we're thinking about the end, having the end in mind. But what makes that manageable is to break it down into small but significant steps. And also what's important too is as you complete each of those steps, or you reach a milestone, it's important to celebrate, because the celebration helps you to stay encouraged and motivated to continue to move forward. The next thing, or the next way to begin operating from inside your money power through creating that money power plan is to identify a goal. right? Our goal is really our compass. It tells us where we're going, what we're working towards. Now, ideally, what you want to have are at least 3 goals, one short, one intermediate, and one long-term goal. The short-term goal can be 1 to 3 years, intermediate 3 to 7 years, and then long-term would be a goal that has, that in excess of 7 years. Now, some typical goals that I see people implement, in terms of short term, maybe it's creating a reserve, because ideally you want to have at least 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses set aside in a liquid account for your reserve. And 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses, that would include housing, food, transportation, medical. So whatever those add up to, when you're doing your budgeting, then you want to put a plan in place as part of your budget, a savings plan to build up to that 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. Now, if you are self-employed, now that may need to be a little bit higher, because sometimes with self-employed individuals, the money is, it goes in cycles, right? It's not stable all the time. So if you can set aside, when your revenues are up, set aside that reserve and build it up to maybe at least 1 year of essential living expenses, then that's a good thing. Now, in terms of intermediates at 3 to 7 years, that's the time frame on that particular goal. An example might be that you're looking to maybe purchase a home or purchase a second home. Maybe your plan is to move to another location, or you might want to take a vacation, like build that into your plan, that you want to start traveling as part of your your vision, and, setting aside money towards that particular goal. And then usually the long-term goal over 7 years, the main goal that I see is planning for retirement. So you have to, set aside, that means maximizing, first of all, making sure that you are maximizing your retirement plan, not only the contribution, but also how it's invested. That's really important. What does retirement look like for you? How much are you going to need in retirement? What are your income sources going to be in retirement? And a general rule of thumb when we're looking at planning for a retirement goal is we start with 100% of our working income. Because today, it's not like in the past where people weren't quite living as long. And especially, with women, we have a tendency to live longer than men. So it's really better to overplan than to, not put money away. You're not putting enough money away that we should. So making sure that we know how much we're actually going to need for retirement. Start with that income goal, your current income goal, and then you can kind of see where certain expenses that you won't have in retirement. But so that's a good rule of thumb, actually 80 to 100% of your working income goal. And then if you start to feel overwhelmed by the process, or you don't know what to do, then that's a good time to consider working with a professional, because it's not a good idea to sit in overwhelm, because again, we talked about procrastination. It can easily lead to procrastination, because if you don't know what to do or you can't make a decision, then you end up not doing anything. And that's not going to help you get to where you want to be long term. So no matter where you are financially, these steps can be taken to improve your current financial situation and lead you to the life that you desire. To make positive changes, though, it's also important to understand the underlying motivation for your money decisions. Your motivation serves as a powerful tool for guidance and direction when making wise choices. I'm sure you've heard, this question, what is your big why? So I encourage you to think about that, in terms, why do you want to get your finances in order? Why do you want to have why are these goals important to you? Is it because you want to increase your income? You want to increase your savings? You want to build wealth? You want to be able to provide more support to maybe family, as well as causes that you are passionate about. So that big why is really what motivates us to stay the course. And I would also add, it's important really too, in addition to that big why, to understand and identify what is your vision. What is that big grand vision that you have for your life? Not just your financial life, your financial future, but all the areas of your life, such as relationships, the financial security, your profession, spirituality, whatever, the areas of your life are. It's important to have that big vision. And I would recommend writing that big vision out, writing it out or typing it and having it posted somewhere, so that when you kind of start to feel a little bit discouraged, then you can actually look at that vision. It reminds you of where you're going. It's kind of like your true north. So it keeps you motivated especially when you have situations where you're feeling a little down about moving forward on your journey. Now that you know the 3 ways to operate from inside your money power, number 1, understand why you make the financial decisions you do. Number 2, build financial confidence through knowledge and support. Number 3, put your money power into action. There's 3 questions that I would like for you to ask yourself. And these questions will help you identify what is your next step, even your small but significant next step, to help you begin to operate from inside your money power. Number 1, do I understand my current relationship with money? Where do I need to get additional advice and support? In what area do I need to get additional advice and support? What is the one action step I can take to move from money fear or anxiety to money power? So hopefully you'll kind of reflect on those and come up with a plan for yourself to move forward. If you'd like to learn more about your relationship with money and how it might be preventing you from maximizing your money power, I invite you to take my free money type quiz. It only takes 5 minutes to complete, and it can be a life changer. To access the quiz, just go to PamelaPlick.com/thank you. And that's PamelaPlick.com/thank you. And once you take the quiz, on that page, in addition to the quiz, there's other resources, tools that can help you start to begin the process to start unlocking the financial freedom that you desire, and setting yourself up for long-term success. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with this quote. The most empowering step you can take to eliminate fear around money is to take ownership of your financial future. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Until the next episode, remember, you can rise to your money power.